Perbiere, sorry, Gabe, he, him.
Can you all hear Crystal? Okay, all right, excellent.
Pianist Liz Elsmore, she, her. We are your worship team on the chancel today. We will also be joined by poet Nancy Bainey, she, her. I'm looking for Nancy. Where's Nancy? Oh, there. Sorry, I just panicked that you might not be here. People of all ages are joyfully welcomed in service. We look a little sparse today on the young side. Was that me? Okay. Don't always recognize my own voice when I hear it. Poor Gabe is by himself. Well, Gabe and Gail are running things up in the balcony by themselves today, so give us a little grace. In a nod towards staying connected, I invite everyone to please complete a connection card. This card is a great way to let Reverend Katie and the staff know what's going on with you, what you need, what you think about things, if you move, if you get an updated email address, if you want to kind of slip in a little complaint, or a praise, something you really liked. It's helpful to know what you like. So put it down on the card, slip it in the collection bag when it comes by. Reverend Katie, better luck to you.
Thank you, Crystal. Thanks to the dance team also. Movement is so important, and I love that we incorporate that into our services. Could I mute myself? Uno, dos, tres. Gracias. All right. Thank you, dance team. And thank you, Crystal. Tiny bit of history for you all. You know how we talk a lot about Transylvania being an important seat of Unitarianism? If you haven't heard this yet, if you're new today, you're probably going to hear it a lot. We also have a partner congregation in Transylvania. Well, King John Sigismund signed the Edict of Torda. He was the first Unitarian king, and he signed this edict on the 28th of January in 1568. And this kind of made Unitarianism a bit more official, but as scholar Reverend Dr. Nicole Kirk says, both Unitarian and Universalist thought pop up through history like strawberries in a field. Why is this important? It is always important to know our history, but also in the United States, it is 200 years since the founding of the American Unitarian Association. Now, the Universalist Church of America was founded in 1793. And 64 years ago, on May 21st, the Unitarians and the Universalists consolidated into Unitarian Universalism. You'll often hear that referred to as a merger. That is not true. It is a consolidation because both places had home offices in Boston, and in the state of Massachusetts, you cannot have a merger, but you can consolidate two different religious organizations. So happy 200 years, AUA. Rev Dorian provided a Love Wins wedding this past Friday. So just so you know, we are still offering free weddings to our kin in the LGBTQIA+ and immigrant communities who feel like they need to get married quickly for a variety of reasons. Reach out. Even though I'll be away, Rev Dorian will still be here and able to perform those wedding services. So you can always send folks Rev Dorian's way, and we will make sure that those weddings continue. 1 week from today, we are going to have a grand party after flower communion, and then I will go outside and head to the airport, and sabbatical will begin. Yeah, this is big. I will, in all honesty, if you see me bust into tears and say, I love you, man, it's because all the feelings, like nobody tells you, like when you leave a congregation, you know there's going to be grief, you know, when you're transitioning to something else because you love the people you're saying goodbye. But nobody tells you that there is going to be grief when you're getting ready for sabbatical or an intense feeling of FOMO. So I'm doing my work with my colleagues to manage my FOMO and also the fact that I will be missing you all too, even though I know you're in the very best of hands. So if you see some tears and an I love you, man, just know I'm activating my resources and I really am okay, and the love is for you all. That said, I will also stop receiving emails on Wednesday so that I can focus on Thursday and Friday on some grant writing that has to be done before I leave. You'll already see alerts on my social media. I will be off social media and my phone will not be receiving messages. But in the know, you will find a link to a form so you can click on the form and give me all the updates. So on September 3rd, when I'm back, the very first thing I'm going to do when I reinstall my social media apps and my email apps is find that form and read all of the things that I missed when I was away and make a list of action items. I will most definitely want to come back. There will also be a blood drive next Sunday, so you can go give blood, and it's not just cookies and juice for you. We're going to have a full buffet because it's a party day, so best day to give blood. Full meal after. Today, I'm also going to be in the library after service, so, grab something to eat, grab your coffee. We're just going to have an open chat in the library. If you have any questions, anything is on your heart, on your mind, and I'm just going to hang out for about an hour and chat with anyone who wants to chat. So I hope you'll join me. As we continue our time together, let us acknowledge the land itself and those who've sustained this land through the generations. We are upon the unceded land of the Lenape, Miamia, Kaskaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their land and whose children have been stolen for generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations. I offer you these words by one of our UU ancestors, Archibald MacLeish. The young dead soldiers do not speak. Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. Who has not heard them? They have a silence that speaks for them at night, and when the clock counts, they say, we were young. We have died. Remember us. They say, we have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done. They say, we have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can say what our lives gave. They say, our deaths are not ours, they are yours. They will mean what you make them. They say, whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope or nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this. We leave you our deaths. Give them their meaning. We were young, they say. We've died. Remember us.
Good morning. Good to see you all today. Rev Katie's going to light our chalice. This ritual of lighting our chalice, it reminds us to continually renew our promise, to live into our covenant, to put love into action, and to live out this community of love and justice we aim to be. If you would please rise in body or spirit as we share the words that are printed in your order of celebration. They're in Spanish and English. We'd love to know where you are lighting your chalice from online, if you'd let us know. And we'll say the words in Spanish first. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros
Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together and speak, to teach the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you. You may be seated.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all, he said men, all people are created equal.
This short speech reads like a poem to honor the dead and to challenge the living. President Lincoln used 87 years ago and instead of simply saying 87 years ago, because he wanted his words and phrasing to match the gravity of the moment he gave this enduring memorial.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure.
How often have we tested our Constitution and its ideals? Some might say that we are again put to the test of whether our democracy can survive the struggle of our time to decide what the Constitution requires of our leaders and whether constitutional rights can be preserved.
We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this.
A total of 7,058 soldiers died during the hot July battle. 33,264 were wounded. Some of those wounded also died shortly after as a result of their wounds, the sweltering battlefield conditions, and the state of medicine in 1863. 10,790 soldiers were missing, meaning that their bodies were not found or identified among the dead and bodily remains. No DNA identification was possible at the time. There were also 5,000 horses and mules among the dead and carnage.
But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world with little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
Ironically, I could not name a single soldier killed or wounded at Gettysburg. But we remember them and all those whose lives were lost, as in our earlier poem, "The Young Dead Soldiers Do Not Speak."
It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth.
Was President Lincoln talking prophetically to our future? Could he have known that the Civil War would not end the struggle to retain and confirm our democracy to every citizen? President Lincoln surely understood the cost of war and had no illusions about what the end of the war entailed for the future.
I often say that as an Argentine not far removed from immigration to this country, I grew up with a deep understanding that democracy must be fought for. I am also the proud daughter of an Army private, with many uncles who served in the Army and the Air Force and fought about who was better constantly. I also have the supreme privilege of serving as part of the total force of the Air Force in my role as a Civil Air Patrol chaplain. I get to serve one of the most diverse communities in the United States of America that is dedicated to one purpose: preparing to defend democracy, the highest and best of the promises of this country. On Memorial Day, we remember those who've given their life in the service of this country. And on Veterans Day, we honor our veterans who are still with us. But also, there is a piece to this that civilians may not understand. On Memorial Day, those who served also remember those they've lost. Today, we want to honor Kevin Seidensticker, who has completed his service as a Marine. But the thing is, our service is never complete. It is military tradition that when you do something awesome, you get a challenge coin. And this is from the Unitarian Universalist Association, and it is my privilege as one of our UU chaplains to offer you this coin with gratitude for your service. Let us know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to invite our veterans to please remain risen. So those of you who have served, thank you. Thank you, veterans. It is important for us to remember the sacrifice that those among us in the pews continue to make in service of this country. You're newly back. Those gentlemen who have risen are your people. They will understand parts of your journey that others will not. You all who have risen need to share your stories and be with each other. We thank you for your service. Unitarian Universalism honors you for bringing all of your values to spaces where they are most needed. We thank you. And this is Bless All Who Serve, and it is for everyone in our military. So it is for you. And Daniel, we recognize you and the families who serve with all of those who serve in the military. We thank you. Thank you, Kevin. You're welcome. Good to see you.
moving through sorrow. All of us have to deal with sorrow in life. Some say without sorrow there is no joy. The death of a loved one may be the greatest sorrow. How do we move from there to joy? Moving through grief is not linear. The denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance come and go, sneaking up on you in unexpected ways and times. It is a struggle to move on, to reinvent oneself, to understand who you are without your loved one. Rising past the sorrow comes when we are able to understand there can be a new and different relationship with the person who died. They are still a part of you, your memories, your being. Cherish the memories. Embrace all the ways they shaped who you are. Embrace finding your combined identity. Rise above the sorrow and carry their legacy forward with joy.
Please join me in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. Longtime All Souls Choir member Carol McQuilkin Kirk, age 87, passed away on May 23rd. We hold her wonderful husband, Robert J. Kirk, and their family in our hearts. Carol was smart, fun, an amazing musician and friend, and she will be missed. We hold in our hearts Heather, Amanda Thomas's wife, and their family and friends who are processing Amanda's sudden passing. Amanda supported All Souls in the interim when we were between music directors. She has been our musical guest, led workshops, and she led the Juneteenth concert last year. We hold Norma Cummings and Jenny DeForno in our hearts as they continue to heal and recover. We condemn the violence against our Jewish kin this week in Washington, D.C., when 2 Israeli embassy staff were killed. We condemn the genocide happening in Gaza, the Sudan, and the Republic of the Congo. Let us hold a moment of silence together for the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are yet unnamed. My dead relatives. All of my loved ones are gone. Those who inhabited my distant town. How I miss a moment of a glance, an enigmatic smile, that contagious laugh, the hand gently placed on a hip, the nodding head, the moment of empathy, when I felt loved and accepted. My dead relatives. Pulses of life that explode in an instant, then fade away, twinkling, flickering in the air of the time. I will join them one day. I will cross the veil between palm trees and flamboyantes. I will hug them as if they want me to, or I will watch them from afar. Now their memory and sometimes a shadow passing by, a gentle touch, tiny sounds accompany me in the afternoons. It's what I share with them. They left a trace in my days, an unfathomable beauty, a slight sadness. My dead relatives, ineffable, testimonies of the love that permeates existence. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing, "Let the Life I've Lived." I believe the words are a bit, in the order of service. I saw an eagle today. This poem is dedicated to my grandson, who's waiting to be born. Today's his due date. We're still waiting. I saw an eagle today, swooping across the road in front of the car. As my son and I looked in wonder, we turned in tandem and said, "That was an eagle." I saw an eagle today. Was it an omen we witnessed? I share the news with reverence, hoping that like a phoenix, the bald eagle is rising again. I saw an eagle today. We poisoned the eagles unintentionally 100 years ago. They left Indiana just as the bears and bison did. It's taken 100 years, but the eagles are coming back. I saw an eagle today. The wild bears and bison are absent 200 years from Indiana. They remain on the state seal as if they had not been crowded out and hunted to extinction. A source of hypocritical pride from when America was great. I saw an eagle today. I don't expect to find one at the bird feeder on my front porch, though it might stake out my porch for prey. Still, I watch the skies and the tallest trees, looking for signs that they are watching me too. I saw an eagle today. I want my grandson to see wild eagles and to feel the awe of the wild things coexisting with him. My spirit quietly calls the long-gone bears and bison home, too.
Crystal. So we are pausing from our regularly scheduled sermon program today, not for more words, but to create a place of stillness and silence where another voice might speak, your still small voice. We're going to enter a space of meditation for just 10 minutes, but first, some instructions. Not all types of meditation are for everybody. Not everyone will want to close their eyes. That's okay. We want you to leave feeling more relaxed, more centered than when you came in. And I also want to invite you at any time, if you would prefer to do a walking meditation, to go into the narthex, which is the space that is outside these doors in between here and the social hall. And there's a wonderful walking technique. I learned it from Mohanji, who's a spiritual teacher from India, where you're invited to just slowly look at the spot directly in front of your feet and walk with your attention on that spot. If you need to look up, you stop, and then you return. And just a few minutes of that rhythm will help you to regulate your body, your mind, and your spirit, and to create that space where another voice might speak. And perhaps if you are seated, what you might enjoy is another technique where, as you are seated and noticing your breath, you can either tap a foot right and left, or tap a finger left or right, or open your eyes on the inhale, close your eyes on the exhale, and just continue to do that throughout our time of meditation. You choose what is going to work best for you in this space, in this time. And maybe you can take these techniques into your week as well, because we are living in a time where it's really easy to be thrown off center. And when we are thrown off center, we're not able to activate our executive function in the way we might want to, and it can affect our decision making. So I invite you now into this space of meditation. And as we enter this space, whether your eyes are now open or closed, make a decision now to know that there will be sounds of people in front of you, behind you, to the left, to the right, and all around you. I will have my eyes open and be noticing the space. So I will watch the space for us, and knowing that, please allow your nervous system to settle. People may walk out the doors because they may choose to do a walking meditation. So if you hear the door, know that's probably one among us. Meditating as a group, even those of us joining us online, it lends a special gravity. There's a deeper connection to being with others when we meditate. Studies have been done on this. So I invite you now, in whatever way suits you best, to begin this process of noticing your breath. Whatever the rhythm of your breathing, it is right for you. Notice how it comes in and goes out. Science teaches us that when we put our attention on our breathing, it naturally begins to slow and to deepen. And we begin to relax. So as you breathe in and you breathe out, you might notice maybe it's your jaw that loosens first, or perhaps the muscles around your eyes, or maybe your forehead begins to relax. Your shoulders might drop. Those muscles between your ribs will soon loosen so that you can breathe just a little more deeply and exhale more fully. However you rest on these beautiful pews that are normally not super comfortable, you can allow yourself to just let them hold you for now, maybe even releasing your lower back. Allow your feet to just relax and settle. As you rest in this space, I'm going to periodically share some words with you from Thich Nhat Hanh. You might choose a word or a phrase to repeat to yourself in the silences in between, or you may simply just rest in the quiet. These words are from Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is the only moment. Let us rest in silence. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is the only moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is the only moment. We breathe in 22% oxygen. We breathe out 16%. The Greeks use the same word for breath as they do for spirit, pneuma. And so it is that we are always exchanging the breath of spirit with each other. And it is always moving in as through and around us. So as we rest in this space of community, breathing in to calm our bodies, breathing out and smiling, dwelling in this present moment, knowing that this is the only moment, let our breath remind us that we are connected. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. If you'd like to join me, you may. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. I invite you to begin to bring your attention back to the space. Maybe wiggle some fingers or toes or blink your eyes. Maybe shift a little left or right as you allow your attention to come fully into this room. As you move through this day and this week, may the gift of breath, of presence in the moment, of spaces for silence find you. May you feel centered more often than not. And in those moments of challenge, may you remember your breath, and in your breathing, you are not alone. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
I invite you to rejoin me. This week, we are sharing our offering plate with the Miami Nation Honor Fund. The Miami Nation of Indiana aims to reestablish a sustainable way to care for its members, to build a secure future for the tribe, and to ensure future generations can meet their needs. This includes teaching children the Miami language, reuniting the Miami Nation with ancestral lands, offering gatherings and spaces for community to be together, facilitating stewardship of the land and maintenance of the tribal complex, a museum space, a space for language learning, and a space to keep the drums. Providing historical and cultural education to the public, such as drumming, dancing performances, and school lectures. We are acknowledging the Miami Nation Honor Fund as a movement towards right relations. It's not enough to simply acknowledge the terrible injustice our nation visited upon the indigenous people who once resided here. Nearly all traces of the Miami Nation were erased by physical removal of members, eliminating their use of language and culture. We must also make attempts at financial amends to allow the Miami Nation to survive. To contribute, you can give cash or a check into the collection plate. If you're online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org to look for the Donate tab on the top of the page. If you're paying online or are using a check, please let us know if your gift is a pledge payment or if it is for Share the Plate. If you're paying online, thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls and for your continued love for one another and for this world. Morning offering may now be given and gratefully received.
Thank you, Liz. That was beautiful. And thanks to everyone who was sort of humming and singing along in their seats. I offer you these words by activist, organizer, poet, singer, Adrienne Marie Brown. I greet you with wonder in a world which seeks to own your joy and your imagination. You have chosen to be free every day as a practice. I can never know the struggles you went through to get here, but I know you have swum upstream, and at times it's been lonely. I want you to know I honor the choices that you have made in solitude. And I honor the work you've done to belong. I honor your commitment to that which is larger than yourself and the journey, to love the particular container of life that is you. You are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and I am grateful. Amen, and blessed be.